It says I'm live. Welcome to G.Parkers Arcade Room, along with Off-Grid Arcade, a dual simulcast on both channels. And as promised, the ukulele's in the house. Kelly is in the background. If she could just pop her head up. It's her birthday. Let's sing Happy Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kelly. Happy birthday to you. I cannot play this thing with headphones on. Happy birthday, Kelly.
Thank you.
Okay, as promised, now I've lost, how many subscribers did I lose? Let's see.
I'm unsubscribing right now.
You gained some.
Oh, and I went flat right there. I missed the wrong chord. Oh, it never fails, never fails. Welcome. Say hello, Bart.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, yeah, this is exciting stuff.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're watching on G.Parkers Arcade Room, just for giggles, go over to Off-Grid Arcade and check his channel out and watch there, or vice versa, or do whatever you want. But this is kind of an experiment, so let's just see how it works. And I can see by the chat that we've got 0 people in here right now, but that's okay.
Mine says 1 now. I don't know.
Oh,
now it says 2. No, they're flooding in. They're flooding in.
They're flooding in. Well, they knew I was done. They knew I was done singing. They knew I was done singing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, they. Well, again, this is kind of fun. We're doing it on both channels. So if you're a part of my channel and you or get a chance to see this on Off Grid, go check out his channel. Arizona Cowboy 1's in the house. Hello. Now, one thing you'll see is if Off Grid and I answer in the chat, it's kind of funky right now. We haven't figured that out. And I'll give you a quick example if you're watching the chat there, Arizona Cowboy 1. I'm going to type HELLO, and it's going to go to Bart and mine's channel. And I think if Bart types that, it's going to, I don't know what it does. Does it say it's you and me? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it says it's me in mine and you in yours, no matter who types what.
Oh, okay.
Because let me see. Oh, where's my chat? Here we go. Yeah, that's on my channel. That said that I typed that hello.
Okay.
But on yours, I'm sure it says you did.
Well, Arizona Cowboy 1, we got him up on the screen. He says he's here, so welcome here. And it's kind of cool because Arizona Cowboy 1 is the one that kind of helped me out a little bit with some of this 3D printing. And I don't know if he got with you or not, Bart, but I know he's been very beneficial. And that's something we're going to talk about tonight, is the benefit of having a 3D printer if you're a gamer.
Yeah, no, I haven't actually talked to AZ Cowboy 1 directly. I got help from him through you, so it's all secondhand help. But I think some of the stuff that you told me about came directly from him, so it was very helpful.
One of the first things he helped me with was, well, he helped me with a lot as far as software and stuff that I needed. But one of the things was when I made these pinball machines for the Switch, they were all printed as one piece. He's the one that taught me how to use the slicer and cut this into 2 pieces and print it as 2, because it's better if this lays this way on the bed and this lays this way, so you don't. I had a sag up here, so anyway, yeah. I think if Chaos was here, he'd show you. I sent him actually one of them that was printed the first time that had the thing. It's got a little bit of divot in there, so I'm sorry, Chaos. I'll get you off a better one.
Yeah, I believe you. I think you showed me that when I was up there, before you shipped it out. How it had that little sag. Yeah, I've used that cut it in half thing myself to get prints. Like you said, sometimes it's just beneficial. Get that one piece this way and one piece this way. Maybe you want to lay that down. So
Yeah.
it's very convenient.
And the big thing too is the software. The software that came with the printer. That software that we're using now, Bart, is one that Arizona Cowboy One recommended to me. A big lifesaver on that. So I want to thank him for all that technical help on that. But I think what I want to, the way I want to get this going is just to say that if y'all remember, Off Grid came up here to Kansas City to visit with us, and one of the motivations between that for that visit was not just to see my beautiful face, but was I have a micro center in our area, and they had 3D printers on sale for $99. These Ender 3D printers, and Bart said he'd like to have one picked up, so I picked myself up one and him one. But we found out that shipping was not. Well, I don't know. It's still probably been cheaper to ship it down to you than it would be to drive up here. But you thought, let's kill two birds with one stone. You were taking a vacation anyway,
right?
Why not come back and visit G.Parker? So you did, which I'm wonderful couple, I might say, that just enjoyed them immensely. And they, Arizona Cowboys One says he misses Micro Center. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's just like the kid in a candy store place. So Bart, tell them a little bit your experience. You got to come up, you got to go Micro Center.
Right. Yeah. Well, one correction I got to make from we came up there to visit Cheryl, and you happened to be there. But I
understand. Yeah. I know.
But no, we came up there, like you said. They had that great deal, so we couldn't hardly pass it up, and you were lucky enough to be able to get a second coupon. So, and we thought, yeah, let's come on up there. We don't have. I think Dallas is the closest micro center to us, so that's quite a trek, and it's not that much further to go up there. Plus, we got other family in Missouri, so we did see them, and yeah, it was nice to get up there and very helpful. Like you said, AZ Cowboy One had that tip for the software. I never even installed the software that came with the printer, because you had helped me out, and we got that other software installed before I even left your house. So that was convenient.
But these things were on sale for $99. They're regularly $200, and so you could hardly turn that down. I mean,
right.
For the price. And so far, I've it's probably what I guess you'd call it a low end printer or a economy. But aside from working out a few bugs, I had one. The first one I had to take back, but I had no problem exchanging it. But once I got that kind of all worked out, I think the worst I've had to do is replace the nozzles on it. The nozzles are cheap and easy to replace. And I just noticed it starts printing funny, and I changed the nozzles.
Yeah.
You got them for sale at Micro Center. I think you buy 5 or 6 of them for $4.99. They're little brass things that screw in. So
yeah, I picked up a couple when we were up there just in case. And I haven't had to change mine out yet, but I think you've printed more stuff than I have. So
I don't know. I have printed some cool stuff. I didn't bring everything I printed up here, but since I said we're going to talk a little bit, I'm going to go back and forth here with Bart and take turns showing some of the stuff we got. But one of the first things I printed. Go check out Mr. Postyle's channel. Put a plug in for Mr. Postyle, because he put a plug in for me. And I don't have it here with me. I shipped the only one I had off. And what it is it's Mr. Postyle. He's a Milwaukee's best kind of guy. Only the best for Mr. Postyle. Well, it's a beer can koozie that your Joy-Con slide into, and it worked perfect. So you can play it, and sip your beer and play and sip your beer, or put a straw in or whatever. So that was kind of cool. I shipped that off to him kind of as a gag. And I don't have a photo, but go check out Mr. Postile and see if you can find his video on that. So, but The thing after that I printed first was I just looked up. There's a website you can use. Help me out, Bart. What's the name of it? Thingiverse thing?
Yeah, there's a Thingiverse, and then I've been using that Thangs. It's like things, but with an A.
Right.
I've been going there a lot. That's another good place. But yeah, that Thingiverse, there's a lot of stuff there.
But the first thing I printed out was this. Here's your Joy-Con. And I printed out 2 of these. I only brought one of them down. But, you can put that in there and make your little deal. And then I made 2 of them. And I made a blue one for the red Joy-Con. And I made a red one for the blue Joy-Con. So it's matching.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So, it kind of, Bart has there, he'll show you the thing that came with it that holds both Joy-Cons that turns it into a controller. Yeah,
right.
See, now you can hook both your Joy-Cons to make it a controller, but this actually just gives you something to hold on to when you want to play, turn them into 2 separate controllers.
Yeah, like if you're playing an old NES game or something where you only need the one side, that's brilliant.
Yeah. So, Bart, what do you got there? What do you got? Anything for show and tell?
Well, this while we're talking about this thing, on our Switch we have plastic covers over the Joy-Cons. So this one that came with it, they slide in these slots, and there's stuff on both sides. So with that plastic case, the covers, you can't fit it in here. So I printed one off that basically is just the center part in kind of a V shape. So it still has, you can grip it, but I can keep but I don't have it with me because I think my daughter took it to her house.
See what happens when your kids come to visit? Lock up your stuff.
Yeah. Well, technically I printed it for her because she lost her one that came with it, but she doesn't have that. So I was going to trade her back. She doesn't have those covers, so she can use this one.
Right.
And I was going to take the one I printed, but I think she snarfed it back before I could tell her that I wanted to use that one. So that's really the only thing I think I've printed for the Switch so far. I do want to print one of those pinball tables like you have, but if you remember when I was up at your place, Kelly has the OLED display. And it didn't fit. Remember, it's just a hair bigger than the standard.
The unknown gamer Travis, my son, came over with his OLED or OLED, and we measured them, and they are just like a millimeter or 2 longer. I mean, not by much. So next time he's out here, he's going to bring it back, and I'm going to get the little micrometer tool and measure this one, and I'm just gonna get into that what's the Persa Slicer program. Arizona Cowboy 1 sitting here, he can tell you that I think I've learned enough from him to know that I can just change the proportion or change the X and the Y on that and just add, and then I'll print one for him, and if it works and his fits in there, then I'll just send you the file.
Yeah. Or you can just tell me the dimension you used, and I can just modify it. I can modify it here.
Yeah.
I can download it. I think I already downloaded the one that you have. I haven't messed with it yet. But yeah, it's fairly simple to do. And matter of fact, I can do another show and tell and talk about what you were just saying. I think I showed you this already, Greg, and I showed Mr. Postile and those. I printed this coin door for on an arcade 1-up or a main machine. And
that looked good on my V pin. That would look good on the front of my V pin.
And what I did, I wanted to put it on a machine, and this one is too small for the machine I want to put it on. But this one fits on the deck for the printer we have. So I'm printing a new one that will print in 2 pieces. So this is only half of it. I got to print the bottom half still. But this button here is actually the same button that I used on this one, but I resized it because these ones are much smaller. It's hard to tell.
So did you print those buttons separately?
I did. The buttons are printed separately, and they're a two color print. So you do 2 layers with the black on, and then you pause the print and switch the orange in, or whatever color. Or I happen to have orange, so it looks like it should. But yeah, it's the same exact one that was in here. I just resized it.
So if you print the black first.
Yeah. Well, on this one, on the smaller one here, everything was printed. This is all.
I just mean on the button.
On the button,
on the
itself,
25 cent.
On the
Because
button,
I was wondering how the orange or the lighter color shows through. It's like.
Yeah, it's when it prints the first 2 layers, it's only the parts that are black, and the rest there's nothing there yet. And you switch it to orange, and then it kind of prints over the top of it. If I get it really close, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Probably not. You can see the lines because it has to try to bridge that gap. So it doesn't look super pretty when you're looking close. And if I get close, you can see the lettering down here didn't print out super good.
But you don't have to use supports. You don't have to use supports or anything with that, huh?
No. I do got to print another button for this side because I wanted to test fit this one before I printed 2 of them. But yeah, no supports were needed.
Arizona Cowboy 1, I just wanted to say, said there is a, let me see if I can, a clear, there's he's talking about printables, but there's a clear filament.
Yeah. Clear filaments. And I looked at those. I don't have any, but let me turn on my flashlight on my phone. Even with this stuff, it'll light up that button. You can kind of see there. If I were to put an LED inside this, if I can line it up, it'll light it up even with the filament that's not the clear, because it's only a couple layers thick.
So I bought a filament from Micro Center that's called yellow glass, and it's a translucent yellow. It's not clear, but it's very translucent. It's
right.
But I'm gonna have to get with you again. So I see what you're saying. I'm gonna have to take and try that. So I'll just take your word for it. You just start printing it, watch it print 2 layers, and then just turn it off. Yeah,
and the one that like I said, this button came with this smaller door, and he had instructions on the print site that told you to do that, the 2 layers. And I printed these off at the 0.2 millimeter layer heights. So I just watched the screen on the printer. And so it printed the first, it said 0.2, and then it did the 0.4. And as soon as I saw the thing say 0.6, I paused it because I knew it was starting the 3rd layer. And then I try to change out the filament as quickly as possible so you don't have too much issue with it. And it came out okay. Like I kind of going with my arcade room is dark anyway, so it'll look great when it's mounted and it's down low.
Let's see what Arizona. It takes some work, but sand and polish. I use UV resin film. Yeah, I'm sure you could do that. Now, see, going back to 2-layer printing or multicolor stuff. These printers were only designed to do one color. I think you can buy multiple ones, but let's change gears back to what's behind you, Bart. Is behind Bart, if you'll see, we're getting away from the switch right now, but there's his Oculus headset. And if you can see the headset's hand in there, and then his game controllers sit on top. Let me do this. Let me see if people.
I can't
Right.
hardly move the right direction.
Yeah, but there you go. So what I did was I printed. He sent me the file to that, and I printed these. Now, this first one was an experiment. Well, actually, no, it wasn't. It was kind of a mistake on my part. I ran out of. I knew that's one thing about 3D printing. If you start, you got 12 hours invested in the print, and then you realize you're running out of filament. And I mean, I can see us ending up with a whole. It'll be like buying an FX table with coupons. Those of you might not get the joke, but you'll end up with extra filament. A matter of fact, I've heard, and I might get with Arizona Cowboy One. There's a way, and I've tried it, to weld filament together, but I have not had luck with it. But so what I did was I had already talked to Bart about making that door and how he changed the filament. So using his description to me, I knew I was going to run out of white, so I just changed it to black, and I came up with the two-tone. Well, with that being said, I thought, well, I missed the boat because, see, the letters are still white. So what I did was I made another one, and I started in blue. And when I noticed it getting up to printing the letters of the letter, now, of course, you remember everything on that same plane is going to be red. But I let it print the letters in red. Well, I was getting low on blue, so I just let it keep running out to here on red. And then I switched it back to blue to finish it off. But I think it's two-tone, but it gave that nice. That's actually filament. I didn't, some people take a marker or paint that in, but that's actually filament. So
nice. That's cool. Yeah. Now, here I'll switch to this next one, AZ Cowboy One. There is a change filament option in the slicer, and it'll pause automatically. But I tried to use that, and I don't know if what I did wrong, because I tried to use the change filament thing, and I told it what layer I wanted it to change, and I was standing there, and it's printing, and it just blew right on through it, and I'm like, so I had to pause it manually, and it just didn't pause on its own. I did find that setting, but I don't know if I did something wrong. Because it didn't pause for me. I expected it to pause and allow me to change the filament, but it didn't. So I just kind of babysit it, and when I get to the layer I want, I'll just change. I just pause it manually.
We may get together on that Arizona Cowboy One. I know last time, and talk about that sometime. I know last time we got together, I got busy, you got busy, so maybe we'll find some free time, and maybe you can help us out on that. But let me show a little more show and tell. This is a neat little thing. Anybody know what that is?
Is that? I don't know what that is.
It is.
Oh.
A switch stand. Now, your switch comes with a little kickstand. The OLED has a real nice one, but this cheaper version of the switch does not have a very good one. So, like my little bar down here in the arcade room, if I want to play this while somebody's playing pinball or one of the other arcade machines, I'll just set this on the bar with the controller, and instead of holding my hand, I don't know, it's cool. What? And these, there's a nickel's worth of filament in there. Matter of fact, there's a couple neighborhood kids that got switches, and they always come down here to play pinball and stuff. Poor little kids that come down here and they go, "Can we play pinball, Mr. Vincent?" I go, "Got quarters?" Go home and tell your dad to send quarters. And then I always let them in. I don't care. I just tease them. But but last time they came down here, they're friends of my wife's grandkids, so we know the families. They got permission to come down, but I gave each one of them one of these. They're such polite, cool kids. We couldn't accept that. Our daddy get mad. I said, no, you just take that home. Tell your dad to go jump in the lake. It's, other things I made real quick is, you got your Joy-Con. I mean, not Joy-Con, your controller for your Switch. Well, they got little stand to put. I don't think I got it on there right, but yeah, that's how it goes on there. And it's even got the Nintendo logo on it. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I printed a couple of those up. And the last thing I got down here to show is these I was kind of right proud of. This is y'all know I run the Mario Kart home circuit live. And see, there's a little stand. And there's two of them, actually, and one's shorter. So the Mario one is the red one. And then I got a green one, the Luigi car, and it sits down here.
Oh, that's awesome.
On the bar, so I've got one. And then I bought that. I ended up scaling this up and made one for the actual remote control Mario Kart that doesn't play a game. It's just twice the size of these. So my whole bar is loaded with Mario Karts and plastic that I made.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm gonna just jump in with the last thing I got here, and I think Bart's got one there too. I don't know. Let's go back to dual screen here. We got for your at games, and also Bart. What do you got? One for your arcade?
Well, yeah, I printed one of those like you got right there, and I got a couple of the different discs for this. Same as yours, but I mounted the plate already, so I can't show you the plate because my at games is over there. But this one is a standard four-way.
Plate looks like that, I'm sure.
It looks like that, and then you just double stick tape it to your unit, so you can pop it right back off. And then this one is a diagonal for playing like Qbert. So those are a couple, and then I printed an 8-way also.
Now, I just want a quick disclaimer. Mr. Postile always listens to this on the way into work because he can't be up this late where he lives out east. So he always listens. And when you're listening, I know you won't be able to see this, Mr. Postile, but you'll be listening. So just want to let you know he was showing something that you tape to your game. When he said tape something to your unit, do not get one of these and take it home and tape it to your unit. You know how Poe is.
Yeah, you got to be very specific with Poe.
Yeah, he'll be taping something to his unit.
Now for the iArcade, I haven't tried. I want to try this because these things are pretty sturdy. On the at games, you can really put some pressure on it, and it doesn't move as long as you got good double stick tape. On the iArcade, I printed these things up. And there's a company that makes these, and they charge like $18 or something like that for two of them. And I got like 7 cents worth of filament. And of course I put my OGA on there and custom, but basically this bottom part sits in there. You slide it over your joystick. This part hooks onto the edge of the deck, and then, you do your stuff. Matter of fact, I can share that picture. Oh, God, it zooms out every time. Yeah. If I add this.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it makes it pretty small. I don't know if I can zoom in any better.
There you go. That's
kind of how it hooks on there. And then, the little dust cover goes back over it, and it works pretty well. But it does tend to want to, kind of want to flex a little bit and pop out of there. So sometimes if you're really getting into, you're playing some Donkey Kong or something like that, and you're trying to get away from them fireballs, you push too hard, it might want to pop out. And then another thing I can show you, we were talking about the two print colors. This is before I figured out how to do that. Let me get back in here. This I printed up for my Mortal Kombat machine.
Oh, look at that.
And that I did the old-fashioned way, like you were saying. I'll zoom in a little bigger. That's just a Sharpie pen. All the black is Sharpie pen. I printed that whole thing in orange, and then I just used a Sharpie marker and colored it in. And here, I'll see if I can. I have pictures of it actually on the machine. You can see it down there on the bottom on the kick plate.
Oh, wow. Well, that's pretty good size.
Yeah, it's took the whole plate when I printed it. There's another angle. I wish it wouldn't make these pictures that small, but you can see. I guess you can see it there down at the bottom.
You got an adjustment on your software with the pictures to show full screen?
I think because I took it vertically on my camera with my phone.
Yeah.
It won't let me do that.
Yeah.
But you can see it down there on the bottom, kind of, and it came out all right. It has a screw hole on it, and I just kind of screwed it in. And let's see, what else did I? Oh, here's just a couple other little things I've printed. They're not arcade related. And these two, Kelly painted them. And
Hello, Cal. Hello, I'm just going to say hello to Calvin. Yeah, and Calvin, our topic is 3D printers tonight, and some of the stuff that Bart and I have printed up for our gaming systems, and now we're kind of expanding and just showing some other stuff that Bart's printed up. So,
yeah,
there you go. Go ahead, Bart.
There's the Darth Vader Anakin where his helmet got damaged, and Anakin's face, you could see through it. Printed that up, but that's just not game related. That's just Star Wars related.
Oh, that's cool.
That's most of the stuff that I've printed that's game related. Of course, the Quest holder, I had to print two of those because we have two Quests here. So Kelly's is hanging over on that side, and mine's hanging up here. But it gets it off the floor, off of countertops, hanging on the wall.
Yeah, I printed one up for myself, and then I printed one up for my son, the unknown gamer. And then, of course, I told you about those kids that come down here. I showed him that Quest holder. He says, "No, Mr. Vincent, I have one of those Quests. I have one of those Quests." I said, "So you're telling me you want one of these things, right?" "Yes, sir. Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. I'd like to have one." I said, "Okay." Well, I said, "Well, bring some damn quarters next time you show up to play pinball."
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I think I'm going to be printing at least one more. Because when I left your place, I went out to Florida and visited our boy out there, and I know that he keeps his Quest just sitting on their counter. And when I showed him mine, he's like, "Oh, I could free up some counter space." So I think I'll be printing one off and shipping it to Florida.
Yeah.
But at least they're nice and light. It shouldn't cost a lot to mail it.
Of course, you talk about other things. I don't have it down here, but I haven't finished it yet. But I'm actually working on a remote control tank that will have it'll have actually a security camera. I got the plans for it off of that Things, I think it was, or one of those two sites. But it's got little treads, and it's got it runs. I used to be in a model airplane, so I had a model airplane transmitter and receiver, and the servos actually drive it, and I can put I'm going to put a little security camera on it, and I can mount my phone to the top of the transmitter, and I can run that thing around the neighborhood and see where I'm going. So
nice.
Yeah, I can't wait to get that put together. The only other things I made some of these little, I call them keychain fobs or whatever, but I only made them in one color. But G.Parker's arcade room. This is that translucent yellow. It's called yellow glass.
No.
And it's hard to see. So I'm going to experiment with that change in the I got it backwards. Probably the reason why. But I don't know. I made some of these up. I don't know. Because I could. I don't know.
Right.
So that's it, everybody. I mean, that's it. We're, just showing a little bit about what's the range on the transmitter. I'll tell you, when I used to fly planes, people ask me that because I was big into flying the planes, and the answer is further than you'd want to go, because when they're up in the air, it's like an antenna way up there, and the plane would be gone before you wouldn't see it. It'd be ridiculous because you couldn't get it back. So the plane, but that's because it's the antenna. It's like any antenna; it's way up in the air. I'd say on the ground, though, I don't know. I'd say there's probably pretty good range on it. If I can get I know they found planes that people have had fly off before that've been a mile away. So but I can imagine that I could probably run it around a 4 or 5, 6 block area in my neighborhood and probably pull it off. So I don't know. That'll be a good question. I'll get that once I get it hooked up. I may just send it on an exploring mission and just see how far it goes before it stops. walking distance.
Right. It'll be neat though.
Well, actually, my brother got one of these. My brother's. I think you saw when I was here. I'm getting way off topic, but you saw my little habitat, of course, where I keep turtles and stuff in my backyard and a pond. My brother's got a little area in his that's got a cave in it. He actually built this nice little habitat and water area, a little outdoor, but there's a cave down in there. He's always wondering what's down in that cave, so he got an infrared camera, and now he can drive that down into that cave to see if any critters might have crawled in there, died or something. It's kind of a cool thing.
Wow.
Yeah, Arizona one says count RC car. I picked up a ham license so I could push 5 once on. Yeah, I've got a ham license, and you're right. It used to be before they came out with these Wi-Fi enabled cameras and stuff that you pretty much had to have a ham license to do that. And I forget what is that, 20 meters or something, Arizona Cowboy one, that 20 or 14 meters that they used for that. But that brings up another question. The camera, the controller for that RC tank will probably work quite a whiles away, but how far is that Wi-Fi going to work on that Wi-Fi camera?
Right. That might be the limiting factor.
Yeah, I think the limiting factor is going to be on how. So that's when you would have to go to ham license. Yeah, if you look up my call sign, Arizona Cowboy 1, it's N0Y00, N0Y00, or not Y00, N0Y00. O's and zeros are different. So anyway, that's my ham call signs. Yeah, 100 meters. That's probably about right. So anyway, Bart, anything else you want to say about the 3D printing? What's your experience been with it? How do you like it? Are you having fun? I mean, it's just fun, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's fun. And you can sometimes, depending on what you're printing, you can get yourself lost into watching it when it's doing details and stuff. It's kind of neat to see it put together, but it's not a quick process though. So that's one thing that really surprised me, how long some of the prints take. But it's really neat. I've been printing off a lot of stuff that's not game related, but did some Christmas ornaments and some. I've been printing off 1/200th scale rockets, Falcon 9s, SpaceX rockets, and Blue Origin rockets, and so it's neat to be able to print them out so you can have them to scale and see what they look like. But overall, I really like having that 3D printer. And then the stuff that's for the gaming is just, that's just bonus. Hey, I can make a limiter so I can play Donkey Kong on this 8-way joystick and actually get up the ladders when I want to. Now, it can't help Logger. It doesn't matter what kind of limiter you get on there. And that Mike Seaweed guy, he'll tell you that Logger is the best game ever. Oh, look, see, you mentioned Logger, and look who comes in the chat.
It's almost simultaneous.
He has like a Logger radar. He can tell when anyone mentions Logger. And there's not a limiter in the world that can save Logger. But that Seaweed guy, he'll tell you different though. But there he is. Logger is awesome. That is the gaming road warrior. But the IKEA lack enclosure for the printer.
You know, I think I just saw something on that the other day, Arizona Cowboy One. I think I saw where the guy bought those IKEA tables and those leg extensions and the things to put the plexiglass in. It was cool. I think I just saw that a video on that on YouTube, and that is cool, Bart. It's a nice little thing you can put your printer in and close it up with plexiglass. Got nice little doors. It's even got a place for your scraping tool and all that stuff in the top. Cool little device. And some of the parts are printed, and then you can buy these IKEA tables and it all makes it go together.
Huh. Now that is another non-gaming thing that I've spent some time printing is stuff for the printer itself. I have a little tool rack that goes up on the top crossbar that holds all the tools that came with it, all the Allen wrenches and the scraper and all that stuff. I printed a little guide for the filament to come through, and then another deal where you feed the filament through. I printed a whole deal on there. It has a little wheel, so it guides it in there a little better. I'll take pictures and send you that stuff, Greg. But,
hey, while you're talking here, I got to step out for just 2 minutes. I'm just going to put you in single layout and let you take it here for I'll be gone about 2 minutes. So here you go, Bart. I'll let you visit with the audience there for a little bit. I'll be back.
Okay. But yeah, I've been printing up a lot of little tools and modifications for the printer itself, and I'm sure you have too, AZ Cowboy. Little drawers and stuff like that. But it's just neat to be able to print this stuff up without having to, you just on a whim. You're like, oh, look, here's something for a switch. I'm going to print that off, or here's something that I can just use. Let's see. Mike's asking, does the 3D printer eat a lot of electricity? Actually, no, it doesn't. You would think that it would, because of how hot it gets. The print head gets really hot, and the bed itself is a heated bed, and you would think that it would draw a lot of power, but it doesn't draw a whole lot of power. God, I want to say it's like 240 watts or something like that. It's not a lot. It's not like, an electric heater that you have in your house. Those go up to 1,500 watts. Stuff like that, coffee maker is going to be 1,000 watts at least, if not more. Microwaves, 1,000 watts. So it's not drawing anywhere close to that. It's just the time, because like the Quest holder up here, that's a 12-hour print right there. So it does take quite a while to print things. So you being off grid here, and I'm running everything in the house on batteries. So yeah, if I got to do a 12-hour print, and if I were to run it overnight, it'd be drawing off the batteries. But during the day when the sun's up, solar panels will run it just fine. Let's see. Done custom cover plates for light switches, replacement car parts, clips, new latches for the fridge. Oh yeah, it's amazing the amount of stuff. I printed up a whole set of clips to hang the Christmas lights on the house. I've seen those light switches where you can. Oh, Greg's back. You can put. So it looks like Frankenstein's laboratory, a big old switch, and it'll make your light switch go and stuff
I
like
have
that.
that. I have that. I put it up in Halloween by the front door,
Nice.
and you know, with the promise to Cheryl that I'd take it down after Halloween. Well, they're still up because everybody gets such a kick out of it. They're such a conversation piece. But yeah, it's like a big switch that you throw up and down.
Nice. A full set of Mandalorian armor. Wow.
I forgot to mention I did make a pinball. It's kind of funny. The pinball place that everybody knows, they see I go down to, Solid State Pinball, sells those holders that attach to your legs of your pinball machine to hold a soft drink or a beer or whatever. And they sell them for like $20 a piece. Well, I found the file and printed them. Then when I went down there to talk to the guy, he says, "Yeah, that's all I do. I print them out." So
yeah, I printed one. It's made to get screwed onto an arcade game or something. And I printed one up, and I have it right here beside my place on the couch on our little table. Being in a tiny house off grid, I don't have a whole lot of room for stuff, but yeah, so I have one of those cup holders. It's actually made for on an arcade game, and that's where my cup is sitting right now, is in that holder. So kind of it's arcade related, but it's not.
yeah, he says he has a. I'll have to check those out. Vorons, Vorons.
Wow, 2 Tridents and 1 2.4. And you have an Ender still, so you got 4 printers. That's awesome.
I know that I saw what is it, Jersey Style, the guy that's got a YouTube channel. I've kind of talked to him a few times. He's got, and I'm not sure which ones these are. I'm not that familiar with all these different ones. Arizona Cowboy one, but he's got one it's got all these, instead of the print bed moving. You know how the bed moves, Bart?
Uh-huh.
And then the top. This thing here's got 4 like articulating arms. That.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen them before with those. And then they got those ones that the head will go at angles too. It's pretty neat. No Jeep.
Yeah, no, I did print a Jeep. I printed a full miniature Jeep. It came out pretty cool. I don't have it down here, but that was one of the first things I printed. They had looks like a model Jeep, but it all snaps together. And I mean, it's amazing how these things work. Doing whistling local. Okay, a lot of hustle with local cosplayers, custom ready to install that. Okay, cool.
Oh, and he prints resins too. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm still, we're just getting into this. I mean, Greg's had his a little longer than mine. I've had mine, but what did I get? It was like the week of Halloween when I just got this. So I've only had mine for a couple months, and I'm still just PLA. That's all I'm printing off. I haven't messed with any other types of filaments.
Right.
And I know there are pluses and minuses for different stuff. And I think, Greg, you were saying you printed off a phone holder for in the car, and it got too hot and warped.
Yeah, the Jeep YJ's got a unique dash to it, and you hate, my old. Well, they're both old, but my rusted out Jeep, I didn't care. I drilled holes in the dash to mount ram mounts and stuff. But this one here, I didn't want to drill a hole into. It's got a brand new windshield frame. The guy owned it before me replaced it. And what happened is the dash is uniquely shaped, and some guy developed a pattern, a file to clip that onto the dash, but it hits in your defroster place there. And it wraps around the dash and it holds the phone great. But I was driving one day, and when it started cooling off, and I had the defroster on, and it warped it just enough to where it fell out and fell on the floor. Now, since then, I fixed it. I just cut that little tip off where it grabs and put some real good Gorilla double back tape on there and kind of taped it at the top of the dash, and it holds it in place. So it's a nice little no screw mount for the phone. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff. I mean, you go on their website. My God, there's everything for it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, and cosplay props. I would imagine there's all kinds of that. It's you can get lost in that just going on these Thingiverse and Fangs and all these different places and just scrolling through the different files you can download, and it's just amazing.
Well, my computer right here in the office that I'm using, it doesn't have front USB ports in it. So when I want to hook up my microphone for the podcast, now my camera I've got just ran back behind the desk, but there's things like if I want to hook in a USB to the computer stuff, it's a pain to crawl down there. So I got those extension wires, and I can't show them to you right now because the way it's set up. But you know those cables you can buy for they get the male end on one end, the female on the other. Well, there's a little thing. It takes 30 minutes to print it up. They're little plastic devices that hold those USB ends, and then I just ran the wire up here under my desk. And I'm a cable management guy. I hate wire everywhere, and I screwed those to the underside of my desk. And so now, if I want to plug in a USB, I don't have to reach around behind the computer or dig around trying to find it. I just got the wires all routed from the back and plug them right in. It's perfect. So
Nice.
Two of them in here. So yeah, my nightstand. Have you ever had you've got your phone charger, and maybe you got something else like another little charging thing there, or whatever those wires, USB wires. Well, they had another thing right in that same place, a little plastic thing you could print up that you could shove your cables into and slide them up and down it, and so they're not laying on the floor or flying all over. When I go to bed at night, I'm trying to find the damn cable. So yeah, tons of stuff like that.
Yeah. Again, because we're in a tiny house and we have not a whole lot. You can see here, this is my refrigerator, and I'm sitting on the couch. So it's a long walk for me if I need to get a drink. But right here on the side of the fridge, you can't see it because I printed it in black because our fridge is black. But I have a phone holder right here so I can put my phone. You can probably see that if I put my phone in here. I can mount my phone, hang it right there because I don't have a lot of shelf space. I don't have end tables and stuff. And then next to it, I have the remote for the TV. Just little stuff like that you can print up and then hang it on the wall, or that's just double stick tape. I was going to put magnets on it, but yeah, it's just crazy. The amount of things you can print, just stuff you would have never even thought of. It's like, hey, I could put this here, and boom, there's a mount for it.
Yeah.
But polycarbonates, carbon fibers, and ABS. Now, ABS, I've watched videos about ABS. I've never seen much about that polycarbonate and carbon fibers. But yeah, it's getting into some serious stuff there.
Well, hey, we had a chance to talk about this. I want to kind of fulfill. We're coming on that hour, and I don't know, just me personally, I think attention spans, and if it's not our lovely audience out there today, then it's maybe it's me and Bart's, or at least it's mine. I'm going to take a beat for that. But I want to move on to just our second topic tonight, which I don't know how many of you are interested in. Haven't seen Chaos in here tonight, so I know he was one that was interested in acquiring, and some other people. But I think what Bart and I are going to do is I've talked about. I ran a pinball tournament in the past on on a past life, on a past Facebook group, and before I had this channel. But I'm thinking this YouTube channel, and I've drawn Bart into it. Basically, I just tried to find somebody to share the workload with me because he'll find out later what a pain in the butt it can be. But the FX3 tournaments that we all play, and you can play them on the Switch, you can play them on the what platforms can you play them on that crossover, Bart? You can't do a PlayStation, can you?
You can use Steam on your computer, and that will cross-platform with any of the platforms. So you can play a Switch tournament with Steam, or you can play PlayStation or Xbox, but they won't. The different consoles won't play against each other. I don't think, from what I understand. Hey, Brooklyn Menace.
Yeah, Brooklyn Menace, welcome. Well, we'll end up doing a video on it, explaining how you can find somebody, because that was the big problem I had before too. Is you have trouble finding somebody if you're playing on one platform and you try to find my tournament, and I set it up on another platform. It can be hard to do. Fortunately, Bart and I both have tournaments available. We both have our pinball cabinets and our Nintendo Switches, and I think we pretty much got about everything on both devices, don't we, Bart?
Yeah, I have everything you can have for FX3. I have on my cabinet. I think there are still a couple packs that Kelly doesn't have on her Switch, but for tournaments and stuff, if they come up, I'll just buy those packs because they're still relatively cheap on FX3.
Well, I think I bought the last of them last time they were on sale. But here's the premise of the tournament. What it'll do is Bart and I are still working on the details, but just to explain a little bit about how it works is you will play in the tournament. Well, when's the next tournament? That's what we're going to talk about. I think we're going to try to start this the first week in February, but it's going to be different. When I talk about tournament, we could have another single tournament between now and then. But this tournament would be one that it'll start on a certain date and it'll run every week. And what I'm envisioning is it would probably start on a Sunday and end like after 5 days. They'd be a 5-day tournament. That way, when I do my video, and hopefully we can do this again on both channels, or we can switch back and forth. What we'll do is we'll start them so that we can talk about it starting that night. We'll start it that day on a Sunday, and then run it, and then we can also talk about how it ended the week before. But what you'll do is you'll play in tournament. The tournament will run for like, Bart and I got to work this out, 6, 8, 10 weeks, something like that. Well, I guess it'll depend on participation. And every time you play, you'll get points for scoring first, second, third, and also points for just participating. This is how I did it. I kept a spreadsheet. I'll have to know your Steam name or your Switch name so I can keep track of who you really are if you start doing really good. Then what I did was I kept track of scores, and the neat thing about it is no matter how bad you did in the tournament, you always got a point for playing. Now, the last one I did like this, there were people that made it to the playoffs. I ended up kind of doing like football. I had a playoff. So if there were 20 people in it, there might be like 6 people that have the top scores. Well, some of the people got top scores just by showing up every week. Somebody didn't win first place every week. So there's 4 points for first, 3 points for second, 2 points for first or third, and 1 point for showing up. Well, if you show up for the whole 10 weeks, there's 10 points.
Right.
So then what we did was and that's where I had to contact people. Then there was a special code, and only the people in the top 6 played, and then they played down to the, half the pack got killed off there, and then you played down until you had the first, second, third place winner. Then we had a neat little trophy, and there's a guy named Bill Carpenter. His screen name was Balls Slapping. And he won the last tournament I had. So I'm going to try to get a hold of him and see if he's interested in doing it. Maybe get him on the channel to talk about it. Maybe I can get him to come on. So anyway, so that's something that we're going to look forward to announcing here on the channel. You won't have to be, and there's not going to be any cash prizes or giveaways or anything. You don't have to be a subscriber. The only thing is there will be a trophy, which we will probably 3D print. So you'll have some bragging rights. So we thought it'd make it fun instead of just having these little 1 week tournaments that Chaos throws up or Bart throws up. And as a matter of fact, we might talk Chaos into getting involved with this too. Again, no reason, not going to force anybody to subscribe or do anything. There's no cost or effort on your part other than playing and letting us know who you are so we can keep track of your points and who's playing.
Yeah, should be good. Should be a good time.
And we'll what I'll do is last time Bart and I will sit down and pick out all the games we're going to play each week. And what I like to do is announce it's going to be like it's going to be 10 weeks. I'd say I'd put a calendar out that shows which game starts each week. Gives you a chance to practice up for them. And a matter of fact, I mixed it up last time. I had unlimited tries, unlimited unlimited whatever, and then and 3 balls or 5 balls. Sometimes I'd change it up. But then toward the end of the tournament, to make it a little tougher, I started putting up games that you only had like 3 tries. And I think when we got down to the playoffs, there were 2 guys that were just getting phenomenal scores. And and of course, if you got unlimited tries, but I said 1 try. 1 try, 1 ball. So to answer the question, Arizona Cowboy 1, we will look to get this big tournament going sometime in the first part of February. Now, between now and then, we can throw up a tournament anytime. Matter of fact, anybody can throw up a tournament anytime, but I'm talking about an extended tournament. So that's what we'll and I'll be posting it. We'll be posting it here on that's the way I did the old tournaments. But no, these will be posted on this channel, and we're also going to Bart's agreed that we're going to share this on his channel as well too. So
yeah, it'll all be YouTube based more than Facebook. So you should be good there. Yeah, and then if you're talking about doing a 3D printed trophy, see if AZ Cowboy 1 wins the tournament, we just got to send him a G-code file, and he can probably print it better than we could anyway. But
and I'll have to decide on that, because I did have if I can get Balls of Slapping to come on the channel and show his trophy off that I gave him. It was kind of a cool little trophy. It wasn't expensive, so I don't mind picking up something like that. I think it was like 8 or 10. It was nothing, but it was kind of cool, and I know he was right proud of it. I mean, I know it was. I think the final one, I had him up against another fella, and I told him, I said, they'd been battling back and forth the whole season. They had the top scores. There were some people in there, though, that did pretty good, that just got there from, showing up. But I know he contacted me via Messenger and told me, he says, man, I'm really nervous. He said, you only gave us 1 ball, 1 try. He says, I've been practicing before I joined the tournament. And he says, every time I get so nervous, I drain the ball. Well, he ended up winning it. But he said, man, that pressure's on you. And that's what makes it fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And 1 ball. Well, that is scary, because we've all been there where it can be your favorite game. You've played it a million times. You can run up 100 million points, but there's that time when you plunge it and it goes right down. You're like, what? That's scary.
Well, I think I can tell by this group, and I don't know, I hope I'm right, but I know I can speak for myself, and I believe I can speak for Bart and some of the regulars here that we've kind of got in our group. Poe and Mike over at Mike Seabees are actually the Gaming Road Warrior, that I don't think any of us take ourselves too seriously. I mean, it's all for fun anyway. I mean,
Right.
If you get in there and you try to the last breath and you drain your ball on 1 ball, well, hey, you know what? I got second.
Yeah.
I didn't get the plastic trophy.
Right. Yeah. It's all for fun anyway. Like you said, nothing's hinging on any of this. It's just to have a good time and maybe a little bragging rights but that only lasts till the next tournament, and then we all get beat anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't know.
And Bart's not the one you got to watch out for, because I tell you, they've been to my house before, and I've got the real pins, I've got the V pins. That little lady that's sitting behind him, that's the firecracker you got to watch out for there. That momentum.
Yeah, she likes to act like she can't play, but she tends to beat me a lot. But
of course, it was kind of embarrassing when we got down to the pinball place downtown. We did visit a local pinball hut. We went and had pizza. I don't know. We had a great time.
We did.
And, of course, we had always at the restaurant, we always had to ask if they had like one of those booster seats. And then at the pinball place, we had to have a little step ladder to get up the machine. I know she's sitting behind you. She's gonna kick my ass.
He reaches up, pulls the plunger. That's the peek over.
Yeah, somebody said that's just so cute that you brought your daughter down here, Bart. I said that's not his daughter, that's his granddaughter.
Yeah. I tell people just because she's the size of a 12-year-old doesn't mean she is one. But no.
This has all been good fun. I'm telling you what, I just want to say something. That you meet somebody online, and I tell you, I'm advising most people that are watching this that, be cautious. I met somebody online. I'm going to let them come up to their house and stay. You kind of wonder about stuff like that. But I'm telling you what, we talked a lot. We visited on this. We can do this offline. I'm telling you what, I just got to compliment Bart and his wife, Kelly. You couldn't have a nicer couple to come up and visit with you. Respectful, fun, good time, same mindset. I mean, just a wonderful, relaxing time. So they're welcome up here anytime. So come back up anytime you want, man.
Yeah, it was a great time. And yeah, we say the same thing about you and Cheryl. Just great people. And that's one of the things I think people, when you're watching us on these shows, Greg's not pretending. What you're seeing here is Greg. This is how he is. This is how I am. When you see Mr. Postile on his, that's how he is. We're not trying to pretend to be something. So I think we kind of knew what we were in for when we met up with each other. We talked enough that we're genuine people. So and you and Cheryl were awesome hosts, and it was a great time.
That gaming road warrior.
Yeah.
Oh, did I freeze? I'm just teasing.
Gaming, he seems like he's an all right guy, but then he gets to talking about that lager, and you just wonder. You just can't trust a man that likes lager that much. Yeah. Anyone who hasn't played lager needs to play lager at least once, so you can get the full appreciation of Mike Seaby's craziness for his love of lager. I've never got to the third screen on that. I gave up on it, but no.
Well, that being said, I do want to say a big shout out to Gaming Road Warrior and Mike Seaby's Gaming Headquarters. You check out both those channels. Make sure you do check out Mr. Postile's channel. We usually get the four of us together, and we just haven't been able to do that in a while. Of course, as always, my right-hand man and co-host tonight, co-conspirator on dual channels, Off Grid Arcade. Got some great stuff, and I mean, it's just always fun to watch this channel. So, and then I'd be remiss without saying that another great friend of the channel and to all of us is Arcade Chaos.
Chaos, great guy.
Yeah, great guy, and I just don't know what happened to him tonight, but I'm probably gonna have to call him in a little bit. Go, where the hell you at?
Right. Oh, hey, here's Retro Arcade Music Man came in the house.
Oh, okay. Hello, Retro Arcade Music Man.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this. The floodgates are open. A Digital Victory who just did a video. Oh my goodness. See, I'm old and I can't remember. He just did need to check out his channel. He just did another pinball.
Yeah, he put up a short just today, I think. Was that today? There was a short video. I just watched it a little bit ago. And then it had a full video the other day, though. Was that yesterday or the day before? A couple days ago. I think Digital Victory had a full one of those Star Trek, was it? Was it Star Trek?
Yeah, I think yeah. See, we're showing our age. We better quit while we're ahead. I do want to.
He does so many good videos where he goes in depth, and then I'll get on these strings where I'll watch one and then I watch another. So I might watch 5 or 6 videos, and then I forget which one he just posted because I'll end up watching one that was from 3 years ago.
Yeah, Star Trek.
Star Trek. Woohoo! One in a row.
I don't know if you were here when we were talking about a tournament, Ed, but I want to get with you on that and see if maybe we can involve you a little bit as far as maybe when we do a table. I don't know. We'll get together and talk because we're going to start this tournament. It's going to last a few weeks on FX3. I don't want to bore everybody with the whole details again, but what you'll do is you'll play around one tournament, and then we'll keep track of your score, and then you'll play again. It'll be a private tournament just for those who join up and are watching here on the channel. Again, you don't have to be a subscriber, but you're going to have to come here to find out the code to get on. And maybe we could have you, I'm going to put out a list ahead of time of all the tables that are going to be involved in that tournament. And one thing I thought about with you is maybe we could get you to maybe just do a short or two on each table or something. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But I think that'd be fun to involve Ed if he's interested in doing something like that. So, yeah, I think it'd be fun. So,
yeah, it's very informative stuff. If you have any question about how to play a table, if Digital Victory did a video, it's worth watching. He's helped me on several tables, and I just can't catch him on that Grinch. I think I have a great game, and then I remember what his score was, and then I just hang my head in shame again.
I did double my score though. See, when I first get a table, I'll put a video up saying, "Hey, somebody released the table," and then I'll get on here and bang the ball. And my mindset on playing pinball is don't drain the ball. Just keep bouncing around. Well, If you watch Digital Victory, he'll tell you where to bounce the ball at.
Right.
And how to do it. And I watched his video on that Snoopy and doubled my score. Now, could I keep up with you and Digital Victory? Hell no. I mean, you guys were killing it. But it's still.
That's the whole thing right here. Don't hit them targets in the middle on the Grinch table.
Yeah.
I was trying that the first couple games. I'm like, well, these targets, I can do that. And then it opens like a present up top or something. And it's like, geez, but you drain before you can get them. But once I knew the pattern and what you're trying to do, I still can't get up that upper spinner on what is it? The third
that top left play field up there.
Yeah, I think it's the third little mission you got to do. And I have trouble because the first one you just hit those targets, and then you got to get all the presents, and then the third one you got to get it through that spinner up there, and boy, that kicks my butt. If you watch Digital Victory play, it makes it look like it's an easy task, but when I'm playing, it doesn't look so easy.
But Digital Victory's he's calm. Have you ever noticed though when he does his videos, he's very calm.
Yeah,
very cool. He's like double aught.
I could try to do a full length video on that, just trying to get it in that upper spinner, and it would just turn into shorts because I never can do it for more than a minute, and I drain. But actually, it would be an all day video, and I just never do it. Yeah, I think it is the third. I think the first one is the targets, the second one is the presents, and then the third one is that stupid spinner. I can't get it. I can't get it. I've only cleared it once, and then I went pretty far. That's my best game ever. But anyway, Grinch won't be on this tournament though, because that's not FX3.
Yeah, we're gonna limit to FX3, and I don't think we're gonna have a problem with cross-platforming, just as long as we're going to be setting the tournament up. Well, I don't know. We haven't worked that out yet, so I'm not going to say, but I think we'll probably be setting them up for the most part on the Switch and or Steam, right, on our cabinets.
Yeah. Yeah, if you set up the tournament on Steam, more people would be able to join. But if you do it on Switch, then anyone that's on PlayStation or Xbox or anywhere besides Steam or the Switch, they wouldn't be able to find it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. I can set them up either way. So,
Right.
and I think you can too. So, are you able to get out to your arcade?
Yeah, my cable's still down though. I still got to get my. I'm waiting for parts to get shipped in. I can't fire up my table, so I'll be playing on the Switch for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Digital Victory. We don't see the many videos where he screws it up, throw them out. Yeah, I hear you. I've been there. Hey, I'm gonna shoot me a Donkey Kong video, and you lose 3 guys on the first screen. You're like, okay, I'm gonna reshoot me a Donkey Kong video. that just went bad. But yeah, it's tough. But it's the information you're giving out though. That's what's important.
Yeah.
Amazing amount of knowledge. I have tables that I've played forever, and I never know as well as what Ed seems to figure out. But very valuable resource.
Well, Bart, do you have anything you want to say in closing? We've been on here about an hour and 20 minutes. My goal was to be on here about an hour, and I know you were early to rise this morning for work. So
4:00 this morning. No. I think we covered pretty much everything that. Stay tuned for the tournaments, but it looks like we're shooting for the beginning of February for the first week, and then it'll run however many weeks we determine. So, yeah,
we'll keep tracks of scores, and we'll keep track. We'll get a little spreadsheet going, and you get points for participation, points for how you place, and we'll do a playoff. And I don't know. It sounds. I hated to put him on the spot here, but it looks like we might have got a little commitment here. Maybe we can get Digital Victory involved, at least help us out on maybe giving some pointers for the tables as we go or something. I think that would be fun. People get a kick out of that.
That could be neat.
Yeah.
But should be fun.
All right, everybody. Well, again, this was simulcast on Off Grid Arcades channel and on here at G.Parkers Arcade Room. So kind of a test to see how this goes. So we'll keep you posted if we do any more of these simulcasts. I urge you to go over and share the love and check out Off Grid Arcades channel. And Digital Victory says, count me in. I'm just going to see. We'll put that up there so it's on the show to say, see, we've got that in writing, Bart.
Get my phone out, take a picture of the screen, screenshot. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So again, this was just a kind of an experiment on our part to see. So, like I say, jump on over, and these we will be leaving these up for you to watch. So we talked a little bit about 3D printing and how it pertained to gaming, and we didn't even touch the surface because with Digital Victory in here, I didn't even mention how many pinball things you can print for your pinball machines in there.
Oh yeah,
toys and stuff. So yeah, it's just crazy stuff. So. With that being said, that's all I've got. I want to give a shout out again to, who do we give our shout outs to? Digital Victory, of course. Retro Arcade Music Man was here. The Gaming Road Warrior, Mr. Postile, will be listening to us on his drive to work in the morning. And Arcade Chaos. Did I miss anybody, Bart?
AZ Cowboy 1, of course, with the 3D printing, very informative. Good guy. And there was something else that was here. I feel bad because I can't remember. Brooklyn Menace.
Brooklyn Menace.
Calvin Wong.
Yeah, Calvin.
That's most of the people that have been here. But yeah, this was fun. A lot of good information, and it's good to see some of these folks.
Yeah. Well, that being said, everybody. I will be back next Sunday night, 10 p.m. Central Time. Good to see you. Again, don't forget to go over and check out Bart's channel and watch the replay over there and see how it looks. We'll see how it came out. I'm kind of excited to see how this worked. I don't even know if it worked or not. Ask Poe when they will have leaderboards on the tiny Atari. Okay. that question's out to you, Poe. If you manage to make it to the end of the video, we'll know that you paid attention all the way through if you answer that question for us.
I'm pretty
Thanks,
sure.
Retro.
I'm pretty sure his Tiny Stretch Armstrong holds the high score on the Tiny Atari.
Yep, it does. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, Bart.